Hello guys, welcome to another video by your car guide all about the car. Thank you for leaving all the suggestions for video topics in my previous video. I will be making videos on your suggestions as soon as I can. If you want me to make a video on any topic related to cars or your favorite cars, the technologies related to cars or anything else, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. So, with no further delay, let's get started with today's video. This video is about the top 10 most iconic supercars of all time. Now, I will not be including cars from the early 1900s, even though there were some cars that I would regard as supercars for that time. This list is consolidated by facts and surveys, so there is no personal opinion. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the video. Number 10. The Koenigsegg CCX. Priced at $1.6 million for the 2008 model and $4.8 million for the 2010 Trevita model, this is one of the most expensive cars in the world. Although this brand was not too popular in the West, Koenigsegg is a Swedish company founded in 1996. Koenigsegg released their first car named Koenigsegg CC in the same year. It took them 8 years to test and deliver their first street-legal car, the Koenigsegg CCR, but it wasn't until 2006, nearly 10 years after the company was founded, that they released the CCX. It became a great accomplishment for the company, as the CCX was awarded the title of one of the 10 most beautiful cars ever by Forbes magazine. It was first unveiled at the 2006 Geneva Motor Show and was equipped with a 4.7-liter V8 which could produce 806 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 693 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 RPM, while running on 91-octane gasoline. The later models were upgraded and renamed to CCX R-Spec. The CCX has a top speed of 395 km per hour or 245 miles per hour and can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and stop from 60 to 0 in 32 meters. Now, even though this car stands at the bottom of this list, it was a spectacular and beautiful car. It set many track records, performed like the beast it was meant to be, and was well accepted by the people. But the $4.5 million price tag and the less production puts the Koenigsegg CCX at number 10. Number 9. The Ferrari Enzo. Named in the honor of the company's founder, the Enzo is one of Ferrari's limited series of road cars. With an initial production run of 350 Enzos, 400 were built in either red, yellow, or black, or even a custom color if the relationship of the customer was strong enough with Ferrari. Each of these beauties was sold at $554,000 as an estimate, but the actual price varied depending on the color chosen or personal changes that the customers requested for. Race-inspiring technology lays the foundation of the Enzo. As such, the chassis is built from carbon fiber and aluminum honeycomb panels forming a rigid tub. At the center of the chassis is a 12-cylinder engine called the F140. The Enzo was designed by Ken Okuyama, the Japanese former Pininfarina head designer, and was first announced at the Paris Motor Show with an initial price tag of $659,330. The Enzo's engine is the F140B V12 with 4 valves per cylinder, dual overhead cams, and variable valve timing, and it produces 651 horsepower at 7,800 RPM and 485 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 RPM. The Enzo can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.14 seconds and a quarter mile in 11 seconds. Its top speed is 355 km per hour or 221 miles per hour. Now, the Enzo was one of its kind. Its engine, the F140B V12, was the first new generation engine, and its design was inspired by various things ranging from bullet trains and F1 racing cars. Later on, Enzo became the inspiration for many upcoming Ferrari cars in both the concept and racing genres. For instance, the Maserati MC12 and the MC12 Corsa used the same mid-engine two-seat design as the Enzo. Other than that, there was a very rare car named the Ferrari FXX, which heavily took inspirations from the Enzo and was sold for 1.3 million euros. So, the very inspiring, contrastive, and profound history behind this car puts it at number 9. Number 8. Aston Martin DB5. The iconic DB5 is as desirable today as it was when it was launched over 50 years ago. An evolution of the DB4, the DB5 featured a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine pushing out 282 bhp through a 5-speed ZF gearbox. The timeless bodywork was courtesy of the great designer Carrozzeria Touring Superleggera, while the luxuriously appointed interior featured reclining full leather seats and wool carpets. At its launch, the DB5 sold for £4,175, but today it would sell no less than $1 million. The DB5 is famous for being the most recognized cinematic James Bond car, first appearing in the James Bond film Goldfinger, released in 1964. The DB5 has a 3,995cc inline-6 engine which can produce 282 brake horsepower at 5,500 rpm and 288 pound-feet of torque at 3,850 rpm. It has a top speed of 143 miles per hour or 230 kilometers per hour. The DB5 features different variants such as the Vantage, which was built for higher performance, and also a convertible. It also had other custom variants such as the Shooting Brake DB5. The DB5 is one of the most iconic cars in the world, thanks to its appearances in very popular James Bond films. There was a point where in 1964 New York's World Fair, the DB5 was named the most famous car in the world. The car is truly iconic and was even used in movies such as Leonardo DiCaprio's Catch Me If You Can and Charlie's Angels. So, the legendary DB5 gets a spot at number 8 on this list. Number 7. The Porsche 911. Now, as opposed to ranking a single car here, the 911 series has been chosen for this position. With more than 20 editions in the lineup ranging from the classic 1963 to 1989 911 or the Carrera RS or Raceport, or even the 911 GT1 for 24 hours of Le Mans. Everything from turbocharging and 4-wheel drive to dual clutch PDK automatic gearboxes and roll cages, there's a 911 to suit pretty much everyone. This vast range also means the 911 blurs the lines between sports and supercars, with rivals as varied as the Audi R8, BMW 6 Series, and Jaguar F-Type Coupe. I will not be including the prices and specifications for the 911 because there are just too many. The 911 has been modified by private teams and by the factory itself for racing, rallying, and other forms of automotive competition. The 911 series is vast, from the classic 911 to the Carrera or the GT series. This car adopts the same design and implements it to various needs and motives. It has won many tournaments since its launch, in the racing line such as the Car of the Century or even awards such as the Automobile magazine's Top 100 Coolest Cars. Now, because the 911 is not exactly a supercar because of its various models, but it is regarded as a car which can both be a supercar and a sports car. However, because the 911 is such an iconic car, desirable by many, and some even call its design the perfect design for a car, it is placed 7th on this list. Number 6. Lamborghini Aventador. The Murcielago's successor is everything you'd expect from a 700 brake horsepower supercar, aggressive, loud, and extremely fast. The price of the Aventador ranges from $269,687 to $356,271. Production of the Aventador was planned to be limited to 4,000 cars. However, in 2016, it achieved the 5,000 unit milestone. The Aventador was unveiled at the Loomis Park in Miami, followed by the Miami International Airport. It also starred in the Transformers: Age of Extinction as the film's main antagonist. The Aventador uses the 6.5-liter V12 engine, which produces 700 horsepower at 8,250 rpm and 508 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 rpm. It goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds and achieves a top speed of 220 miles per hour or 354 kilometers per hour. The Aventador was designed by Italian designer Filippo Perini. Just like other supercars, the Aventador has its own variants, mainly the Aventador Roadster, more quick and more expensive. It also had the limited Aventador J Edition, which was sold for $2.8 million. Without having to say much how beautiful the Aventador is, I think it well deserves its spot at number 6. Number 5. The Bugatti Veyron. If you don't know about the Bugatti Veyron, you probably live under a rock next to Patrick the Star. Some find the Veyron an expensive and ugly car, whereas others can't get enough of its beauty. It's all in the perspective, some say. The Veyron was designed in Germany by the Volkswagen Group and manufactured in France by Bugatti Automobiles. It held the world record for the fastest car in the world during its launch. It was also named the Car of the Decade and Best Car by Top Gear. The Veyron is priced at $1.7 million. Inside, it features an 8-liter W16 engine, which is equal to 2 narrow V8 engines bolted together. Each cylinder has 4 valves for a total of 64. The engine produces 1,020 horsepower at 6,000 rpm and 922 pound-feet of torque. It reaches a top speed of 431 km per hour or 267.9 miles per hour and goes from 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds. It is also called the best car of the decade by many, which is enough to put the iconic Veyron at number 5. Number 4. Lamborghini Murcielago. The Murcielago, a car we all admired for so long. Murcielago translates to a bat in Spanish. This car is an absolute wonder. Now you may be thinking, how can the Murcielago not make it into the top 3? But hold on, the cars in the top 3 are even more iconic than the Murcielago. First released in 2001, it was the successor to the very famous Lamborghini Diablo. This car was used in the film Batman Begins by Bruce Wayne, and I think we can now tell why, because this car literally means the bat. The legend of the name Murcielago goes back to 1879, when a bull by that name survived 24 sword strokes of a champion matador and fought on. The bull was released to freedom and has been honored by lending its name to one of the most powerful cars of the modern times. The Murcielago LP640 has a 6.2-liter V12 engine which produces 631 horsepower at 8,000 rpm and 490 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 rpm. This car can reach 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and can achieve a top speed of 340 km per hour. It sells for $380,000 for the base model, but the Murcielago shall always remain a legend in our hearts. I think that is enough to put this car at number 4. Number 3. Lamborghini Miura. On its release in 1966, it was the fastest production road car made on the planet. The name Miura, the most famous Spanish fighting bull breeder, was chosen and featured in the company's newly created badge. The car gained the worldwide attention of automotive enthusiasts when it was chosen for the opening sequence of the original 1969 version of the Italian Job. Yes, this is the car that shaped the company Lamborghini. It is the car giving the heart to all upcoming Lamborghini automobiles, and it was designed by the Italian sports car designer Marcello Gandini. After its debut in the Geneva Motor Show in 1966, it instantly became an iconic car to many. The design was different from anything at this time, and it featured a 4000cc mid-mounted V12 engine and pushed 350 horsepower at 7000 rpm and 262 pound-feet of torque at 5000 rpm. It debuted at a price of $20,000, which would be $150,000 in today's money. Unfortunately, the creator of Lamborghini Miura has passed away as of 20th Jan 2017, at the time I am making this video. Nevertheless, he has left a legend that we all will love and remember, and this car has shaped the company Lamborghini. Some even call the Miura the first ever supercar. The Miura turned the world of supercars on its head single-handedly, spawning the mid-engine revolution and cementing Lamborghini's place in the wall of all-time supercar legends. Number 2. The McLaren F1. The 1995 McLaren F1 LM is currently, as of 2017, ranked as the most expensive car, selling for a whopping $13,750,000, as listed by the Top Car Ratings website. The base model, however, varies from $1 million and above in some cases. Also considered as a hypercar, the F1 stood as Britain's pride in the time when Italian and German sports car and supercars ruled the world. The McLaren Automotives were founded in 1963, and so far they have only manufactured a few cars and their models. The McLaren F1 at the time of its release was the fastest production car in the world, only to be beaten by the Bugatti Veyron in 2005. The car features numerous proprietary designs and technologies. It is lighter and has a more streamlined structure than many modern supercars. Despite having one seat more than the most similar sports cars or supercars, with the driver's seat located in the center and slightly forward of two passenger seating positions, providing driver visibility superior to that of a conventional seating layout. So the owners of McLaren F1 would brag how they can have two girls in their supercar, one on each side, compared to the other supercars which could only host two people in total. The chief engineer of McLaren, Gordon Murray's design concept was a common one among designers of high-performance cars, low weight and high power. This was achieved through the use of high-tech and expensive materials such as carbon fiber, titanium, gold, magnesium and Kevlar. The F1 was the first production car to use a carbon fiber monocoque chassis. It features a 6.1-liter S70 V12 engine, which is capable of producing 627 horsepower at 7,400 rpm and 479 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 rpm. It can achieve a maximum speed of 240 miles per hour or 386 kilometers per hour and goes from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. I think the McLaren F1 well deserves its position. It was a practically perfect supercar during its time. Even now, the McLaren F1 is one of the fastest cars, only beaten by a few, as of 2017. This puts the McLaren F1 at number 2. And finally, number 1. The Ferrari F40. The Ferrari F40, the most iconic supercar on planet Earth. Who doesn't remember having a poster of the F40 on their walls, admiring it, hoping that they would buy it one day? This car was the life of the 20th century's supercars. It was admired by kids, adults, ladies, everybody. It debuted in 1987 with a price of $400,000, which in today's money would be about $840,000. This car was designed to celebrate Ferrari's 40th anniversary and was the last car to be personally approved by Enzo Ferrari himself before his death. The F40 was a car for the enthusiast. It was meant to race, to be admired at the same time. Therefore, it had many variants from road models to race models. In July 2016, the Fast Car named the F40 as the most iconic supercar of all time during an event carried out by them. The F40 was crowned the top supercar in the survey carried out through June 2016, taking 18% of the total vote. The F40 was far from perfect, even being hated by many because of its design choices and the absence of sound systems, glove boxes, and door panels. But the F40 was built for the enthusiast. When getting into a F40, people would say that one is taking the ride of a lifetime. The sound, the feel of the car, everything was filled with excitement. The car magazine called switching lanes with the F40 a leap of faith, as it was filled with both sheer terror and raw excitement. The F40, and time again, won many awards and was named the most iconic car of all time by many magazines and media companies. The F40 had a 2.9-liter twin-turbocharged rear-mid V8 engine which produced 478 horsepower at 7,000 rpm and 424 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 rpm. It does 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, and the top speed is 201 miles per hour or 324 kilometers per hour. The F40 was very lightweight, weighing only 1.3 tons, but that was achievable because a lot of lightweight material compromised the comfort expected of a car at this price. People had to crouch to get into this car, and some even sold it because it was too meddlesome to have one. But having said that, for many enthusiasts, that is what brought life to this car. The maintenance that it needed, the thrill of driving it on a highway, putting time into its problems, that is what defined the experience of owning an F40. For many supercar fans, the F40 remains the most exhilarating road car ever made. Well, that's it for this video. What do you guys think? Which is the most iconic car according to you? Write down your most iconic car and a reason why you feel so, and I will feature your comment in an upcoming video. Also, leave suggestions on what you liked or disliked about this video down in the comment section below, so I can improve the quality of my videos and work harder for you all. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel and have a great day.